Howdy, folks. Welcome to Race 2 of ZRL. Coming to you from New York on the Everything Bagel race course. This is a points race. Points across the two climbs, which is New York KOM front and reverse, over the two New York sprint sections, front and reverse, and then finally 4 placings at the end. Goal with this race, really, just try and stay with the front of the pack. I just want to stay competitive. Put a bunch of power down here at the start. Good start, stayed out the front. Don't want to burn too much energy here, and I'll just let everyone else just sort of catch up. And then I just want to kind of cling to the front of this big peloton, really. This is definitely a climber's race. Those two KOMs are very much challenging climbs. Not particularly high, but they are very short and sharp and steep. And that will definitely break up the pack. And as you can see now, we're only 3 kilometers in, and we are straight into the first climb. This way is reverse. So, yeah, goal here, just try and cling to the pack. I have a habit of trying to save the legs a little bit on the climbs and not probably going as hard as I should. What happens is I end up sort of in the middle of the pack, and then the lead group basically splits off and I lose track with them, and then it's just impossible to get back onto that pack. So yeah, goal just to try and stay at the front, not lose track of some of the lead riders. A couple of people here really going hard and pushing on. So bit of a flat section here is always a good opportunity to make up some time. I often find a lot of climbers, whenever they get to a flat section, they seem to ease off, but that's always I see it as a great opportunity to just jump on, keep the power down, and really make up some time. Getting to the last flat section just before the final climb, 15%, absolute killer on the legs here, putting out 6 watts a kilo to try and keep up with these two. The rest of the pack slowly getting closer, so just got to keep up that power on the straight here, just pulling away a little bit. And am I going to make it? Oh, very close. So still bagged the third over the top. Very happy with that. And now just into the downhill section. Just keep cruise a little bit, get some energy a little bit back in the legs. And now back to a section where I can see this lead guy was really pushing on. And I thought, you know what, we could maybe make a little bit of a breakaway here, build up a bit of a gap. But you can see I'm putting out nearly over 300 watts just to sort of keep up with them. And eventually, after about 30 seconds, realized that I really can't hold that for another 28 kilometers. So decide to give up on that idea and just sit back and fall back into the main chase group. So you can see now the main pack chase pack has just caught up. I just sit back. Got about 5-6 kilometers until the first sprint. So yeah, just sit, try and save the legs, draft a bit, keep the pack pushing along. Don't want the second group to catch up with us. So unfortunately, I want to try and do a little bit of work on the front here just to keep the pace up. This is a very lumpy course. There are very few flat sections on this. It is very up and down with lots of little kickers, so it's definitely hard on the legs. There's very short areas to get any respite on this one, but yeah, pushing along and trying to keep the pack going. And we're coming up to the sprint section here. Thought, right, obviously I'm in the front. Let's place myself quite nicely, just a few people back so that I can give myself a nice lead out for the sprint, rather than trying to go straight up from the front and giving everyone else a draft. So here we are. There's a lot of jostling going on. And here we go. People are beginning to put the power down. Right, let's put it on. 500 odd watts, 700, 800. Going hard now. And here we go into the sprint. So really going hard. Made up a couple of places. And I think I managed 7th on that. Very happy with that so far. So yeah, race is definitely going my way. Really wanted to, potentially a bit too well, sticking out in the front. Again, trying to keep the pace up on this front pack. I'm keeping an eye on the time of the chasing pack. Currently 35 seconds, but you slowly see that dropping down to sort of 34, 33, 32, and now down to 31 seconds. So yeah, really didn't want to let them back into the race and into this group. So got a bit of a long section now until the second climb. So really just wanted to focus, save the legs, but also try and keep the pack pushing along. Trying to encourage the rest of the pack to help me and do their part, but not much happening. A couple of people, this person, certainly helping. And here we are into sort of a little mini climb, about halfway before getting to the main climb. Again, knew this would really stretch the legs. This person ahead, pushing on. Same person from before who led out and I couldn't keep up with. So yeah, wanted to keep going and just stay in contact, basically. Realizing that, this person's never going to be able to carry that from 15 kilometers out. And there we are, they burnt out. So caught up with them. And now there's just myself and that person again, Widmark. So yeah, trying to thinking, right, okay, well, let's work together. See if we can make a bit of a breakaway, keep the distance up. Keep the gap up between the main chase pack. But yeah, again, not a lot of working happening, and eventually the chase pack catches us again. Another little bit of climb here. Onto a flat, and then around the corner we will be into the second climb. Lots of jostling for position here, trying to get ourselves in good positions just to ready for the attack on the climb. And here we go. At this point I'm feeling pretty good. I'm really warmed up now. And absolutely determined to get over the top first for this one. I now know who I need to look out for. So just going to make sure I keep them behind me and just keep the power up. And yeah, 5 watts a kilo on this climb. Again, hammering on the flat sections, not letting up. And slowly I start building a bit of a lead. So 20 odd meters to the person behind. The worst thing about this climb is you think it's all over here that you get over that last section, but you still got this flat section and this tiny little climb here before you actually get to the end. So Tracy does make a bit of an attack here and does manage to narrow the gap a little bit. It's pretty close. 5 seconds. Oh, yeah. So wiggly as well. Attack, but a little bit left in the legs and managed to come over for first over the top of the KOM. So, I am absolutely stoked at this point. So, just a long down descent now into the sprint section. And I'm just at this point thinking if I can just keep up the pace, I can get over the sprint section first. So, here we go into the sprint. Person's a second behind me, and yeah, just over the sprint. But C Tracy does take the fastest over the line for that one. And now it's just a bit of a slog. Slight uphill section here. And then it's a little bit lumpy. And then onto the finish. So definitely feeling it in the legs now. I think everyone's beginning to suffer. The power is going up and down quite considerably, given that we're such a lumpy little section here. But give it fair play to everyone. Everyone is still competitive. They're really pushing hard, and I can see now that everyone got feather power-ups, and I can see everybody starting to use them. I'm super excited that I've got an arrow for my power-up, so I'm going to use that for the last sprint. Coming up to that very shortly. Here we go. 1 kilometer to go. Everybody's jostling for position. We really slowed down at this point because nobody wants to take the lead. Everybody wants to get into the correct position so that when for the lead out, so that when someone does go, they can chase. Now my power, I know I can sprint for around 250 meters. So that's going to be my goal when I hit that, and really give it the beans. And especially as I got the arrow, that should give me a nice little boost. So here we are, getting pretty close. 400 meters. Someone's already going forward. All right, it's time to go. Put that arrow boost on. Put the power down. 700 watts. 250 meters to go. And I'm at this point I'm thinking, yep, I've got this in the back. Oh no, I don't. And pipped over the line. Disappointed I didn't get a win. I thought I was really hoping to get my first ZRL win, but that L Widmark beat me to it at the end. Still, absolutely stoked with my performance. Best I've ever done in a ride, especially on ZRL. So, yeah, absolutely stoked with this. But there was some more news. So, post-review, I was put down as a code 6, along with a couple of other people, which basically means you're up for review for being overpower for the race. Mine actually came back as okay, so it was removed and my result stood. But the person who actually finished in front of me, L Widmark, actually ended up with a code 8, which basically means that they were reviewed as being overpowered and disqualified. So actually, and I'm going to technically claim this, I got a win. So very happy. I wish I'd actually done it on the day and actually been able to just be first over the line rather than having to rely on the review afterwards. Unfortunately, that also meant I've now been bumped up to Class B. So yay for a FTP increase and the win, but boo for now having to be bumped up to B and not being able to race with my team anymore. So here we can see my power, and you can just see there a code 7. So yeah, so team ended up 3rd. Absolutely stoked. See you next time.